Delegate Assembly, please come to order. Quorum looks choppy. If you'd do me a favor and hold up your clickers and push a button. Let's see what we get. Apparently, we're not prepared to do a quorum check, so I don't see anything on the screen. No. All right. So go ahead. You give a push. And it's not coming through, Louise. Oh, yes, it is. Okay.
She had you muted.
All right.
Hide the tally.
Yeah.
Got half.
See, this is not the official quorum, of course, but it's a good way for us to check that the system's up and taking nourishment. And we're reading 66.7. Yeah, so not looking good. But we'll wait for the official pieces of paper from up front. Will Captain Palenzuela, good morning, welcome, lead us in the pledge.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Would you all please have a look at the minutes? And while you're looking at the minutes, to pick up any mistakes, we will ask for our law enforcement report. Sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to be brief. The law enforcement report, Lieutenant Hill is going to go over it. Just want to say good morning and wish everyone a happy new year, happy Rosh Hashanah. Want to make you aware that we got a lot of complaints about traffic on the Okeechobee corridor, so we're stepping up enforcement in the evening hours. So just want to let the village residents know, please drive with caution and due care coming to and from wherever you're going to in the evening hours, because our motor units are going to be out there enforcing red light running, speeding, and any kind of aggressive driving. Just want to make you guys aware that we want to try to minimize. Okeechobee and Military Trail is a very dangerous intersection. Just always use caution no matter the date or the time you're traveling through that intersection. But we have stepped up our enforcement, our traffic enforcement, in an effort to try to reduce incidences on the Okeechobee corridor. Remember hurricane season, September, this is the most active month, so don't take it for granted. We've been very, very fortunate, knock on wood, this year. But we're not out of the woods yet, so pay attention to the news. There's a couple of cyclones that have formed off of the coast of Africa. So just to keep aware, there's something that's brewing right now, but it looks like it's going to go over a little bit further north of us. Make sure you have your supplies and you have your contact list for your neighbors. I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Hill for the crime report.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Fortunately, I'm going to be very brief because we had a very good month. We had no burglaries reported. We had 2 vandalism cases that were reported to us. One was a cracked window, and upon reviewing the report, it looks like it might have been some stones thrown out by maybe a lawn crew or something. And then we had one report that was called into us to our alternate response unit, which is, I don't know if you're not aware of that, you can call in and make minor reports over the phone. You don't have to have a deputy come to your home. And this was a lady reported some unspecified damage to her front door, and it was taken over the phone, so I don't really have a whole lot of information on that. We had 1 auto theft reported. Unfortunately, a resident was in the hospital for several months, and when he returned, his scooter was missing. We're looking into that. Apparently, his caregiver had been permissioned to use it, so he may have it, but it was reported. And we had 1 theft and 1 lost property report, and both kind of the same. It was laundry taken from a laundry facility in one of the or 2 different buildings over in Stratford. kind of unusual, but I guess they reported that they left their laundry in the machine for an hour and a half or so, and then when it went back to get it, it was gone. So I don't know. I don't think we have a laundry thief running around, but we'll perhaps. And that's all I have. It was a very quiet month. No fraud cases, so maybe everybody's really checking their computers and their credit reports and not having an issue, so thank you. Other than that, I'll take any questions.
I have a question. I got a phone call from a friend who's in another country right now, and their computer was scammed. I believe she called it in to you people. It was from Toronto.
Mhm.
And be very careful. There are scammers out there who are offering to clean your computer up for $99, and they are the ones that are actually scamming. And she was taken for quite a bit of money.
Right.
So I'd like you all to know that. Be very careful to get an offer online, ignore it, don't even respond.
She was referring to we did have a couple of reports of attempts, and they were written up, they were information reports because the people weren't successful and didn't get anything, so there was no crime committed. But we do continue to see there's phone calls of people, your computer is infected, we're from Microsoft, we're going to help you if you send us money. Those are generally scams. If you didn't initiate the call or the request for service, be very, very suspicious of that. But we didn't get any reports that anybody was successful in that. I don't know when the event that you're referring to, it may have occurred after the reporting period. But so I may be talking about it next month when we come back again. But that continues. But this month, we were very fortunate. Nobody lost any money or was the actual victim of that. So that's a good thing.
Hi, Lieutenant Hill, Kevin Hackett. I have two questions. That we're still not getting traffic enforcement reports from ticketing or accidents, whatever, in the village.
We had one accident this month. It was minor, and we're still having some issues. We're transitioning to a new computer dispatch system to get us a better idea of the number of tickets that are written. I know we wrote several over at the stop sign at Haverhill and Century. We wrote a few at Okeechobee, where we're having some issues down there at the other exit. But once again, it was a quiet month because it's summertime. We don't have a whole lot of activity going on.
Second question, there was a domestic disturbance that I didn't hear in your report that did happen last month.
Okay.
In the Berkshires, and I'm wondering, does that usually show up in the reports?
It didn't. It listed as a domestic on our report. Now that does mean it didn't called in as a domestic, but it didn't come in as a domestic. That's number one. Number two, generally I do not comment on domestic issues unless it has some type of implication for the safety of the community. That's usually something that's contained to a unit.
Yeah, numerous owners in the building had reported it, and they were concerned with the safety of one of the spouses.
Well, if you'd like to see me afterwards, I'll be happy to look at what you have. As
Thanks.
always, every call that occurs in the village is given to the committee. They get a list of every event that we go to in here.
Okay, LT, thanks.
Anyone else?
Lieutenant, you prepare a report for us every month,
Yes, sir.
3 parts. Can I release that?
Certainly.
Okay. A lot of these questions would be answered by this report, and it's quite comprehensive. Obviously, there are certain law enforcement things that are not reported. They're going to be kept in the back room. But I'm going to start releasing these 3 reports that the lieutenant puts out, or the PBSO analyst. So. I'm glad to hear these questions because a lot of people are going to be interested in this.
Yeah,
All
we,
right?
we do our very best to get that out. And if you're interested, you can always go to the PBSO website, and on the public page at pbso.org, there is a crime view or crime mapping, and you can go to that and specify a given area, and you'll get a listing of all events within whatever area you pick. Now, it's going to be basic information. It's going to tell you the type of event, and if there was a case number written, there will be a case number there. But, if if you saw something at your neighbor's house and, I think it's what, boss, 48-hour delay, I think, about a 48-hour delay, and that gives us the opportunity to make sure we comply with statutory requirements about certain types of cases cannot be released and things like that. But you can look at that, and it'll tell you the basic information of what went on, and that's out there for anybody to look at whenever you choose.
All right, and of course, please come to our security meeting this afternoon. Sir? Sir, come up. We can't hear a thing you're saying, Frank.
You're going to be controlling Okeechobee where Southampton is?
Can't hear you, Frank.
We're working, we're working an enforcement wave from Okeechobee, pretty much from Military Trail all the way out to about Haverhill or Jog. We have a significant traffic issues going through there.
That noise over there, you can't hear yourself then. You know, at night between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Good catch if you
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wait, do I hear a question? Okay, look, please come up to the mic. Your question may be of interest to others.
Morning, how you doing?
My question actually concerns the light at Okeechobee. Last year before the hurricane, we could turn left at the beginning and the end of the cycle. We lost power for 3 days. It took them a couple more days before they fixed that light, and when they did, you can only turn left now at the beginning of the cycle. Is there any plans to go back to the other way and clean that up?
We don't control that, that's county traffic engineering.
Do you have any input? Okay.
If you can
The
send
concern dealt with the light at Okeechobee. Okeechobee in which intersection? Oh, okay. So at the entrance to the village. So it was about the cycling of the light. County traffic engineering. You can locate them on the website. You might want to send them an email, but they're the ones that control the traffic signals within the county. The sheriff's office doesn't control that. That was the question.
About a week or maybe 10 days ago, I live in Wellington L. There was some activity outside of Wellington L, significant activity with police and a helicopter. We have no idea what happened there. Can you give us any update?
Without knowing the specific date, I think there was nothing that came to my desk.
Well, there was some significant,
Activity doesn't mean we're going to do it.
well, police we saw it, police and a helicopter and police with drawn guns, so we were kind of concerned. Wellington L, correct.
All right. Sometimes PBSO runs exercises. I don't know if this was the case, but maybe they'll have something by the security committee meeting. All right, anything else for PBSO? Gone. Thank you, Lieutenant. And please, as always, security committee meeting this afternoon. I want to make a comment about Betty's issue with the computer. Any of you who use computers regularly know, in general, how things operate on the computer. And you should recognize immediately when this sort of thing happens. And what to think about is, where is this coming from? This is not coming from your computer, it's coming across the internet. And you should have that wire where you can reach it instantly. It says, don't turn off the machine. No, you can turn off the machine, but pull the coax that brings that signal in, because that's where this scam is coming from. And the faster you pull that wire, the better. Try to have it somewhere close where you can get to it, where you don't have to move furniture. Because that's how this, most of the time, if you pull it quickly, you will have no trouble. All right? And don't make any responses, don't make any phone calls, don't respond in any way. All right? Because once they're in, they will exploit your email address book. So just think about that. Don't engage with these people. Don't think you can get smart and play games with them. Just disconnect as quickly as possible. Yes, Betty. Betty, would you come up?
Thank you very much. Whoops.
Whoa.
Hi. I'm mentioning this on behalf of a friend of mine, Marilyn Pomerantz, because that's who it happened to. She, at one point, took this company to clean her computer up, and the fee was $99 for the year. She agreed to it. This is about a few months ago. In any event, we had a conversation about it because my computer is running very slow. She suggested perhaps I contact this company, which I have not. But she called me last night from Toronto at 11 o'clock at night to tell me what had happened to her. That this particular company went in and basically took several dollars out of her accounts. So I'm just passing it along. If any of you have a slow computer and you consider having it updated or whatever, take it to a responsible place. Don't respond to anything that comes through on the internet. That was my point of bringing this up.
No?
Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you. Well, it's almost pointless because we don't have a quorum. We have 107 people signed in, and we do not have a quorum, so there's really no business we can do. However, I see, hold on, I see Century Village's native son here, State Attorney for Palm Beach County, Dave Arenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Last time I was here, I was Century Village's favorite son. I've been demoted to native son. Well, I'll take it, though. And thank you, everyone. I'm Dave Arenberg, honored to be your state attorney, formerly your state senator. And I want to thank the men and women from the PBSO. We've had a great working relationship with them. I think are they still here? You watch the TV show Law and Order. They are the first half of the TV show. We are the second half. They investigate the crimes, and then we prosecute the crimes. And we have a great working relationship with them, and our conviction rates have gone way up in the last 6 years. And so I'm very pleased for that. And I want to recognize Mike Edmondson, who's here. I always like to recognize him. He's been with the office for like 22 years now. Just a couple quick things. I know you've seen a lot in the news about guardianship fraud. Because of our high senior population, this has become a major focus for our office, and also you see a lot of the scammers descend upon Palm Beach County because they want to take advantage of people. Well, I'm pleased to say that the clerk of courts has gotten very actively involved, Sharon Bach. She has received national recognition for her fight against guardianship fraud. We work closely with her, so on that, it's not just PBSO, it's also the clerk of courts, because a lot of the guardianship fraud will end up going through her office because she does all the paperwork for the courts. And it's something we take very seriously. We have a dedicated prosecutor just focused on crimes against seniors. And furthermore, you see the issue about drugs. There is some good news on that front. There is data that shows that this opioid crisis is we're turning the corner on it. We're starting to do better on saving lives and reducing the number of overdoses. That is counter to the rest of the country. We're doing things in Palm Beach County that the rest of the country need to do, such as we have targeted those sober homes that have been nothing more than flop houses. We also have something called Narcan, which we're able to give to overdose victims to bring them back to life, and then not just to release them from the hospital only to overdose again and again. We actually have follow-up care here in Palm Beach County. So we're doing some things that the federal government is unaware of. And so I'm going up to D.C. I'm going to be testifying before Congress next Friday to try to get the federal government to do its part, because there's a lot they can learn from Palm Beach County. And I want, thank you. Thank you. And I want to end with this. It's great to see the judicial candidates back. These are the survivors, the ones who survived the the August election. Now they're on to November. And they know what I've been saying all along. Yes, it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a century village to win an election. Absolutely. So thank you all. I want to wish everyone celebrating Rosh Hashanah, Lashana Tova, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks very much, David.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I think we do want to have the treasurer's report contained within your packet. You will find the draft budget. It's by no means final. We have another meeting coming up. Yes, Ed? Would you come up, Ed? See if it's on, Ed.
Hello. I just want to say this is an opportune time for us to find out why we're getting these big variances. We have hardly any people here.
Man.
The electronic thing is telling us 67, you came up with 117. It's a good time for us
107.
to check.
Yeah.
How many? 107. Oh, 107.
Yeah.
If everybody pressed the button, I mean, the last 3 meetings, we're not tying in.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I think we should just take a few minutes. We know how many clickers we gave out. And if we gave out 107 clickers or whatever, 12, then it's in the system. Or else we're just going around in a circle.
Yeah, I think some people just don't press the button, Ed.
Well, we bring it to their attention. I agree, David. But what's the sense of having a system if we went through the trouble and everything else, and it just doesn't prove itself? This is a major change. I mean, like 40, 50 people not pressing the button?
Yeah.
All we could do was count the clickers outside.
Sure. We can certainly try it again. Yeah. Say again. Yeah. Okay. Ho! It's a radio signal reception. The reception's been.
Mr. Israel?
All right. It's been tested from every corner of this room. The signal is seen by the little receiver. Carol?
No, I just came late, but then I didn't click it.
What?
I didn't click mine because I have to go do something and come back late.
Okay.
That's why I didn't click, so I just want to answer
All right.
him.
There's any
Sometimes
number of reasons, but certainly Ed has
yeah,
a point.
so one number missing because I didn't click mine. Sometimes that happened, not
All right.
just
Well, that's
us.
one.
That's us.
That's one. All right. All the screaming and yelling isn't going to help. If you have something for us, please come up to the mic.
Mr. Israel, do you mind if I just chime in about the budget?
About the budget?
Yes, I wanted to remind everyone that on September 21st in Classroom C at the clubhouse at 10 a.m., which is a Friday, so that's September 21st, Friday, 10 a.m., Classroom C, right outside this hall. We will be having our final budget meeting. The budget that you have in your package is only the draft, and any discussion or any questions or any changes that are proposed or any explanations, we're going to use that September 21st meeting that's completely dedicated to just the budget to go down every single line item. And because it's the final meeting, the more support that comes out, the more, we can explain where the numbers came from or what the changes were. So I guess as we get set up for this, I just wanted to remind everyone about the September 21st meeting is meant for just the budget.
All right. You can get a little deeper into that when we get to the treasurer's report. Yes, Marilyn?
Just a point of information. On the flyer, it says Wednesday. It's Friday, the 21st.
Oh, well, that's, thank you. We'll get another bulletin out.
I just have a quick question regarding your clickers.
Yes?
When you hand them out, do you actually have a tally of how many you handed out?
Yes.
Okay, well, when you check to see how many actually click in to correspond with that, does it equal out? Is there like, oh, okay, so then obviously there's a clicker
We know how
problem.
many we give out, but we deliberately do not have any process in place to equate a person to the clicker. So there cannot be a question.
What about a hand? Like whoever has a hand, a clicker, raise your hand. But what I'm saying is if you have 107 clickers out there and you ask, can everybody that has a clicker please click your clicker? And then it only comes up 107 when you have 160 clickers out there.
All
Then
right.
obviously there's some kind of internet issue. Or somebody's not clicking it properly, right?
It's possible.
So what I'm saying is you're putting things off for voting because you don't have a quorum. But it could be just a matter of someone's not clicking their clicker.
Right.
Could I address that? Ed, you were sitting in front. You did not see when they did the clicker test and they had 61. Soon after that, many other people came into the room. And so that at least partly explains the disparity between the original clicker count and then the final one that came in. Because if we had waited until now to take it, I think you'll see it reflected the correct issue, the number of people that came in.
All right, why don't we try it again? And please, please, everyone, push the button on the clicker. All right, let's go. Has everyone who has a clicker pushed the button? Please? All right, we have 97. And I suspect still that there are some not pushing the button. Okay. But I will say this system's been tested. It's used all over the world.